To be a leader, you need to have number one, the right intention. Tapaiko irada ke cha ta? That's number one. Number two, you need to have the right innovation. Innovation in the sense, how can you think long term? Can you strategize? Can you solve problems? Can you do things that are different? Number three, to be a leader, you need to be able to involve and to be able to include. Everybody that's around you must feel the empathy, must feel like you care, must feel like you're really involving them in the message you want to give. Number four, to be a leader, you must be able to interact, to communicate in a way that other people feel good. You must be able to make people around you feel good. And number five, to be a leader, you must be able to inspire. तर यो कुरा मैले जुन भर्खर भनेको यो त टेक्स्टबुक को कुरा हो. This is basic information. I want everybody here right now to close your eyes and to think about your mothers and your grandmothers. Did they not have the best intentions of everybody in their heart? Yes or no? Yes. Number two, did they not know how to innovate? Tarkari kam bhairach cha, but they would put some aloo and patek. They would be able to serve more people. Yes or no? They could serve more people. They knew how to make the right strategies. They knew how to solve problems. So they were definitely innovators. Number three, your mother and your grandmother. Did they not know how to interact with people? They knew exactly how to get the right thing from the right person at the right time. Number four, did they not know how to make people feel included? They knew, bhai lai ke chahiyo, baini lai ke chahiyo. Ani thakk tyo tarikale sabbai milaunu hunthyo. And number five, did your mother and your grandmother not inspire you every day with their resilience? Not just because of the words that they said, but because of the things that they did. Yes or no? Yes or no? So the truth is that these women from different backgrounds, as different as you, and different academic achievements, were all leaders. Women are natural leaders at home. But here are the statistics about women as leaders in the workplace. Ahile pani, matra 21% prime ministers are women. Only 21% of the total prime ministers of the world are women. Number two, Forbes ma, top 500 companies ma, matra 8.8% को CEOs women हुनुहुन्छ. And number three, हाम्रो आफ्नो district governor मा आजसम्म मात्र एकजना महिला हुनुभएको छ. What does this mean? Does this mean we don't have the right intention? Does this mean we're not skilled enough? Does this mean we're not good enough? Absolutely not. This really just means two things. There are two problems with women in leadership. Problem number one, society and its perceptions. Problem number two, our own mindsets. आज म society यानी समाज and समाज को perceptions को कुरा गर्दिन, because that is outward to inward. But today I'm going to talk to you about our own mindsets and how we need to start changing our mindsets constructively to have more women in leadership positions. Is that okay, everyone? Have you got it? Now we're going to play a small interactive game. तीन माइन्डसेट को कुरा गर्छु. फर्स्ट माइन्डसेट को कुरा गर्न अगाडि म सबैजनालाई कुनै प्रश्न सोध्छु. प्रश्न नम्बर 1. How many of you, especially the women here, have been told, don't do that, you can't do it? Raise your hands. Don't do that, you can't do it. Women, raise your hands. How many of you have been told, don't go out, it's too late? Raise your hands. Even if you're 35 years old, raise your hands if you've heard that even at the age of 35. I can see all the women laughing here. How many of you have been told this? Go out, but take your brother with you. He will take care of you. Raise your hands. And when I was told this, my brother was 3 feet shorter than me. I would have had to take care of him. But because he was a male member of the family, he was told to accompany me. Sano dekhi. Esto kura sunde. What happens to women is, when you become older, you form a kind of risk aversion, which is called leadership ambition gap. फेरि रिपिट गर्छु सानोदेखि यस्तो कुरा सुन्दै सुन्दै we form a kind of risk aversion. रिस्क लिन यानी खतरा लिन कुनै नयाँ काम ट्राई गर्न we get scared. This is called leadership ambition gap. यसको रिजल्ट्स के हुन्छ त कुनै नयाँ जबको भेकेन्सी छ I don't meet 100% of the criteria म अप्लाई गर्दिनँ Women, before they go for a new job, they won't apply till they match 95% of the criteria. Men will apply for the job even if they match 60%. And then they take six, job पाइहाल्छु त्यसपछि गएर सिकिहाल्छु साथीभाइ बनाएर सिकिहाल्छु. Facts in the industry. Number 2, women are scared to put in proposals for jobs, for work, for business if they feel they're not going to be amazing and they won't be able to meet every single criteria. Number 3, women feel scared to open up and to even negotiate salaries in a workplace. Number 4, in social organizations like yours, even if a woman thinks she's capable of taking up a leadership position, atera risk na liera, they don't take it. Why? Not because they can't do it, because they feel, what if I fail? How will society perceive me? This is called leadership ambition gap. And in corporate world ma, political world ma, this is a very, very common problem that is facing women today. What can we do? Practical steps. Step number 1, women, ladies, each one of us, let's start giving ourselves permission. अनुमति दिनुपर्छ आफूलाई. There is a voice inside your head telling you you can't do it. Yes or no? धेरै पटक कुनै काम गर्न अगाडि हामी सुन्छौँ ओ गाह्रो छ सक्छौ कि सक्दैन छोरा पनि छ कति गाह्रो हुन्छ होला. Whenever that voice tells you in your head, remind yourself this is not your voice. This is generations of programming that you've heard over and over again, and give yourself permission to say no to that voice. Number 2, every time when you want to decide whether to do something or not, start by taking a small risk and then increase the size of that risk and just make it a bit bigger next time. You will be better at taking risks. Number 3, don't aim for perfection. Sajilo kura, hami perfect hona khodsau. All the ladies, why we hold ourselves to that standard? Don't aim for that. Number 4, imagine the worst outcome. What is the worst? I'll be the secretary of the club. Sabanda noramro ke huncha. I'll do a bad job. Maybe I'll learn. Maybe I'll make mistakes sometimes. How does it matter? I will learn as I go along. So the leadership ambition gap has to be bridged. यो एउटा mindset हो, हाम्रो आफ्नो मानसिकता हो, which has to be bridged by us if we want to progress. Is this okay? Have you understood the first one? Yes? The second mindset I'm going to talk about is something called the tiara syndrome. Tiara yani crown. Crown थाहा छ सबैजनालाई, right? This is a syndrome that really bothers many, many women. And the syndrome is, म काम गर्छु, म चुप्पो लाएर काम गर्छु and परिणाम आफै आउँछ मलाई कसैलाई भन्नु पर्दैन. How many of you have felt like this in the past, ladies especially? म काम गर्दै जान्छु, I'll keep on and on working. The results will come if they have to. I don't have to speak about myself. In the corporate sector, this happens a lot. Politics ma pani gaएर vote लिनु पर्छ हो कि हैन? हामीलाई के लाग्छ म काम गर्छु 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 कोही एकजना इन्भिजिबल मान्छे माथिबाट आउँछ अनि टाउकोमा यस्तो क्राउन लगाइदिन्छ. That's not going to happen. Nobody is watching you and nobody will give you a crown. Nobody will give a tiara to you if you don't have the courage to go out there and to talk about what you do and how you contribute. So the second problem that women really face, and this is a mindset problem, is we do not talk about ourselves. हामी humble हुन खोज्छौं हो कि हैन? हामी के सोच्छौं नेकी कर फल अपने आप मिलेगा. Yes or no? My grandmother used to tell me that. This is not the world for that, very unfortunately. We have to speak up. The previous keynote speaker before me said that even Rotary had to speak up and share your stories because people did not know what was happening in Rotary. Just like that, women, when we do something, we have to speak up. But we are scared of speaking up. So यसको एउटा solution सानो के छ? Have a buddy system or a friend system in your club. Don't praise yourself, but do 3 things for your friends. Support, speak, and shout. Support your friends, speak about the good things your friends do, and shout loudly when they do something very well. So you are supporting each other, and you are never showing off and bragging about yourself, but actually you're talking about your friend, and your friend is talking about you, as a result of which both of you are moving upwards. Is that okay? Have we understood how do we deal with this? सबैलाई डर लाग्छ के मैले यो कुरे मैले यो गरे मैले त्यो गरे भन्न गाह्रो हुन्छ हामीलाई. But this is the only way around this problem. Number 3 mindset, imposter syndrome. कतिजनाले यो सुन्नु भएको छ imposter syndrome, यसको नाम सुन्नु भएको छ. के हो यो चाहिँ? It's actually imposter phenomena. के हो यो? This is basically when we feel म capable छैन, म सक्षम छैन, तर कुनै राम्रो good luck भएर I am where I am. I'm actually not good at what I do. I'm just here because I got lucky. I'm just here because something happened, and one day सबैले थाहा पाइहाल्नु हुन्छ that I don't know anything. That is called imposter syndrome. Truth, 75% of all women who reach high positions face this in their lives every day. मलाई केही आउँदैन, people will come to know मलाई आउँदैन. Oh my God, गाह्रो हुन्छ. Imposter syndrome, कतिजनालाई छ? Raise your hands loudly, proudly. Even I'm going to raise my hands. एउटा सानो घटना भन्छु. एउटा सरकारी संस्थानमा म अस्ति गएको थिएँ, 5-6 महिना अगाडिको कुरा छ. I had gone there to speak, and I had gone there for a communication training at a governmental organization in Dhulikhel a few months ago. And there were professors. There were around 40 to 50 professors that I was training. All the professors came into the hall. In that hall, there were 5 female professors, and the others were all male. Okay? U shape को यस्तो seating arrangement थियो. सबैजना आएर बस्नु भयो. 6-7 सीट अगाडिको खाली थियो. The lady professors came in. अगाडिको 6-7 सीटमा बस्नु भएन. पछाडि गएर कोठाको एन्डमा बस्नु भयो. I thought maybe they were not professors. I thought maybe they were not at the same position. I went and I asked them breakमा, "Ma'am, तपाईहरु अगाडिको सीट खाली हुँदै हुँदा किन पछाडि गएर बस्नु भयो?" हैन हैन, त्यहाँ त केटाहरु ठीक छ नि, गइहाल्नुहुन्छ सरहरु. This is when ladies do not give themselves the kind of positions that they expect. They do not go and sit on the tables they should be sitting on. They do not take up the kind of space that they need to take up. Women, the imposter syndrome is real, and what we really truly need to do is remind ourselves of how good we are. How do we do that? How do we do that? Number 1, take up space. First seat ma basna गाह्रो हुन्छ कतिजनालाई? Raise your hands. ठ्याक्क अगाडिको गएर सीटमा गाह्रो हुन्छ बस्न. धेरै जनालाई हुन्छ. People sit in the second row, even the first row is empty. Number 2, we don't speak enough about what we do. Number 3, a lot of us, we don't take up the spaces we are meant to take up. मलाई imposter syndrome हुन्छ. And you know what I did about this? Every time म यस्तो संस्थामा आएर कुरा गर्छु, मलाई एउटा ट्रोफी दिनुहुन्छ, टोकन अफ लभ दिनुहुन्छ नि, मायाको चिनो. मैले सबै आफ्नो स्टडी रुममा राख्न थाले. Because every time I would get these, I would keep them away. But now I've realized every time I feel full of doubt about whether I'm a good speaker, whether I'm a good trainer, I need to keep on looking at those 60, 70, hundreds of tokens of love just to know that I've achieved. I request each one of you, do whatever it takes to keep reminding yourself of your real achievements and your real skills, and don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough. आज मैले धेरै सानो सानो practical कुरा गरेँ. Today what I spoke to you about was simple, small, practical things. But ladies, आजको यो कुरा is not just important for us. This is also important for the next generation of girls that are looking up to each one of us as mothers and as role models. Ladies, I request each one of you, let's go back and let's implement these small things in our lives. And more than anything else, let's go back to the first definition of leaders that I told you. The 5 words that I told you about. Intention, innovation, inspiration, involvement, and interaction. Each one of these words begins with I, me, myself. It begins with us. That means that actually there is something inside us which is far more precious than the diamonds and the jewelry we wear. And that is our spirit, that is our attitude. And right at the end, I just want to tell you, ladies, one small thing. Don't let anybody ever tell you what you can and cannot do. Because you are like the water. Nothing can contain you. Your beauty is in your flowing, and you are like the fire. Nothing can stop you. Your beauty is in your glowing. Thank you.